And we're live in front of a studio audience of 0 people. There's a lot of, oh, no, I guess we're up to 25 already. So wonderful. I was thinking that with as much blah drama that's going on in high school, I'm sorry, Hexagon Twitter, we might be alone here. But how you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. Just in case if I get in trouble, I got some of my Hex coffee mugs, coasters. So a good friend of mine made it from the trees that grow around in California. So here I got 2. I actually got quite a bit more.
Really
so
nice.
Just in case if we need extra help, I'm gonna use them as shields.
You might need it.
Yeah, and then I'll put my Hex mug on it.
That's really cool. Well, you got your Zen mugs. See, I keep getting Zen and Hex mixed up.
Well, it's because of the chatter. People are like, every tweet that I see has hashtag Hex, hashtag Zen. So people are very, very, very excited right now.
Very excited.
Some of them very positively excited, and some are negatively excited.
Which is to be expected. We've already got 50 people here, so I'm happy about that. Let's say hi to LS. Thank you for being here. New money. I certainly hope so. We're all going to have a little bit of that in the near future. Man, people have such great screen names, but I can't read them fast enough to comprehend it. So the Demi for real. You know what? I'm going to make this a full screen so I don't have to squint. I'm getting old. Hex love. I love it. We've got some Hexicans in here. I hope they're here to ask questions. We got Pounds and everybody. Thank you for being here. 61 folks. Ryan Burke. The money flow. What's up, everybody? Okay, well, let's just jump right in. LS had a question straight away. Yo, what's up, my man? As K4K Crypto mentioned, who has been actively bashing Zen, which is too bad. I've streamed with Colton a lot. I really like Colton, and I respect his opinions. I got no hard feelings toward him. I'd actually love to talk to him about it. Is this really just for the quick couple days hype? Then the coin will be worthless forever. What's the plan, Jack?
So it's all started as a great experiment, obviously. Yeah. And to be honest, I haven't even looked into the fact that it should be worth anything. Mm-hmm. Like for the first month or even 2 months or maybe 3 months, I didn't expect any value to be there. And I didn't even expect the hype. The 500,000 wallets connected on Ethereum, and then now on Binance in just 2 hours, 1 million wallets connected. I didn't expect that much interest.
That's crazy.
At all. I literally thought it's going to be between 5,000 and 10,000 wallets. In fact, that's why I chose 5,000. I was thinking 5,000 was just enough to have maybe 6+ months to eventually open up the minting daily term limit. And so I chose 5,000. I didn't think it's gonna be wiped out in 5 minutes. That was gonna take 6 months. And to make it interesting, and I want people to work on it, to unlock the the level, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so when people say hype, there was no plan for a hype. It was not even designed to be hyped. And so it just happened. But the value question is a legit question.
Yeah.
I think the value is very similar to Bitcoin launch. Bitcoin had no value. It had no supply. And it didn't even have any users back in the day. Mm-hmm. We're in a different world now. So it seems to be what took years for adoption. Now it's taking days. And the value was given almost on day one. When people started to mint their first Zen, they immediately started trading it. So they were giving it all kinds of wild values. I have seen $1.50. Is it worth $1.50? Yeah, $1.50. I have a screenshot of it on the Uniswap, by the way. Somebody put a pool and they said, okay, I'm selling my Zen for $1.50. So it's nobody's going to stop them from doing it. It's the name of the game. You put, I mean, if you have a nice orange tree that you think your oranges are the best. I'm talking about Zen being in somebody's wallet.
Yeah.
And hey, you can sell each one for $1 million. I mean, nobody probably will buy it, but you can set the price. It's your choice to do it. So people started to experiment and set all kinds of prices for it. I mean, eventually it went from $1.50 to $1, and then much lower, and then it was 2 cents, then it was three zeros and 2. Ultimately, just day 1, day 2, it doesn't matter what the price is.
No.
People are looking at the chart and they're like, oh, look at the trend. Well, the trend, I mean, it should be at 0. I didn't expect it to be valued. Right. I mean, it's free coin. You pay just a little bit of gas. It's supposed to be mostly, learning experience. Get your mom, get your grandma, get your dog to learn about crypto. That's it.
Now, though, I saw an interesting comment today. Somebody said, well, is this even worth getting into because it's already down 99%? And I said, actually, I think you've got that backwards. It's already up infinity.
Exactly.
It started at 0, and then
it went from no value to some value. And no value to some value is really just infinite increase. So no matter what,
10,000x. Congratulations.
It's up in infinite x because it was 0. Like it did not exist. And somebody, actually not me, because I didn't have any Zen for a couple of days. Somebody else, literally the community, minted this crypto into existence and then gave it value. Yeah. And they were exercising their right to play with the technology and to do whatever they want with it. And so the long-term, however, the long-term value question is that Zen is built to be disinflationary. It has 8 years to run. After 8 years, the inflation settles at 2%. And this 2% is only if people stake all of their coins, which I don't think they will. Maybe 20, 25, maybe 30% of people will do it.
Yeah.
Partially or somehow, but it's not going to be 100%. So the inflation is going to be under 1%. I'm pretty sure. And at that point, all of the engagement that you have done over the 8 years, if you have enough patience, should yield value just because there's more of it made. But there will be more people in the world born and potentially would be interested in that. And as we approach the end of the 8-year period, this is where the value, I think, will end up creeping up, simply due to the fact that every day you will be making less and less and less. So the emissions that the protocol allows will create it's kind of wrong to say it's going to create buying pressure, but let's just say that there will be more reasons to go to Uniswap and buy 1,000 days rather than mint for 1,000 days.
Yeah.
So
you're getting a lot of love in the chat here. You got Jack, my man, 1,000 congrats. A lot of people saying, what's up? I minted for 335 days. What's the difference between Hex and Zen? You get a lot of, here's a question I want to address really quick. Ryan Burke, Zen is on Ethereum. If you go visit zen.network, that's where you will be able to mint on Ethereum.
Yeah. And now you can switch to
Binance.
Yeah, you can switch to BSC and spend 30 to 40 cents. You can I mean, if your hand won't be tired, you can make as many wells as you want. If that's what you want to do. But anyway, I almost feel like BSC, even though it has a lot of users, more like a test net. So you can like really play with it and not spend any money.
Yeah.
Like think about it. $1, a single dollar. How many transactions can you make with it? Like 25.
Yeah,
you know?
You can do a lot with $1 on BSC. It just really
well, not 25, but definitely more than you could on Ethereum for sure.
Yeah. Exactly what you need says, this is thrilling. Since launch, Zen has been dominating my thoughts. Excited for this stream. We're happy you're here. Exactly what you need. And then somebody else commenting on dominating thoughts. Dear Jack, how does it feel to live rent-free in the head of so many haters? You're a real estate mogul by now. No, that's really funny. Buff on, on the beat.
I don't have any haters.
No, I know
because in the Zen's tradition, one does not have the self. The self is an illusion. Therefore, whoever is hating anything, it can't possibly be me, because in Zen you do not exist. And so I think people are not hating anything. They're hating their mental reflection onto something that they are somehow threatened by. So the real question is that why so many people are threatened by Zen?
Yeah, that's a great
That
question.
is the question.
And it comes out when somebody attacks you so viscerally for no reason. It's like, okay.
But to be honest, nobody's really attacked me. Like, I haven't seen any sort of attacks that made any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, it was like somebody was having a bad dream and they were typing while they were daydreaming. So, I mean, there was nothing much that I could imagine. I mean, the only thing that I could say is that people were saying your thing is poorly designed because it's not supposed to work, and yet it works. Okay, well, fine. But you know what? It's not my thing anymore. It's open source and it's in the wild. I don't benefit from it. I don't really have Zen. I speak about first principles of crypto, and I felt that proof of participation protocol is something different, yet it goes back to the Bitcoin days. And everybody could feel like they're minting Bitcoin again or mining Bitcoin, except they're doing it without polluting the environment and just playing a game of a sort, kind of like a social game.
Yes, very true. Got this from DMX. I love you, Jack. You're calm and cool. And this, you know, I really appreciate this comment, Latin American crypto. Do any of these toxic maximalists realize how much Ethereum gas fees I spent to end my Hex stakes and sell the Hex top on the day? I mean, my first Hex stake cost me $150 on top of, I'm sorry, my first Hex gas fees cost me $150 on top of the price that I paid, which, by the way, was way too much. So it is kind of an interesting, almost hypocrisy that there's a group of people hating on the fact that this is a gas fee guzzler. And, you know, it's really kind of odd to watch if you're not wrapped up in it. You know, the pendulum swings. If you get your emotions caught up in something, it just, you can't get out of it. But as you, Mr. Zen, you're not caught up in it. So, you know, you're viewing it from the outside just as I am. We got 199 people here in chat. These people are here to support you, to support Xen Crypto. It's amazing. I've got far too much comments that I can even keep up with. Apologize to everybody in chat, but I'm going to go through them as best I can. Of course, y'all know how to make them stick out. Hey, Jack. Let's see. I got to pre-read these before I get them out there in case.
So Nordic Experience has a good question. It's a thick one. Will this be a game of bots only? He says. Maybe we can bring it up.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so they say, will this be a game of bots only? 1 million wallets on Binance in few hours ain't real people. Do people have a chance to even get a decent stake? So here's the thing. So I'm running Google Analytics on the website. And in 2 hours, I saw an engagement of 100,000 real people that are not bots. Bots bypass the web and they go directly to blockchain and they do their minting or engagement, whatever. Google Analytics simply will not see it. What I saw on Google Analytics is 20,000 people on average every 5 minutes were coming to the site for an hour from all over the world. I can't imagine them being bots because that's not how technology works. Google Analytics looks at real browsers. It identifies them by certain metrics to be unique users, which is a standard practice in the industry, and then does a report. And I've been sharing this report freely on my channel, my YouTube channel, completely free. So everyone saw it, and I'll probably save that recording. And so, no, this is not a game for bots only. But even if it was, somebody is paying for those bots. You can't just say something that's a bot with 1,000 wallets is getting it for free. Nothing is free. I mean, especially on Ethereum, the gas prices will be astronomical. And they also incur a lot of risk. Imagine 1,000 wallets on Ethereum, and I think at peak, it would cost you about $15 per first transaction.
Mhm.
So that's $15,000 that you pay for a coin that has no users and has no value. And then you need to mint it the next day when the gas prices could be just as high. And then you pay another $7,000 because it's about half. So now you have paid $22,000 for a coin that has no value. Who in the right mind would do that? I certainly I wouldn't be the one. And so, but again, going back to Google Analytics, we see real people. So, and you can't just say, "Hey, all the bots, this is the thing to do." If it was all the bots, who would they have sold it to? There would be nobody to sell except another bot user, right? Would there be any price action? Probably not, because everybody would be selling. But guess what? Somehow people are buying it too. According to Uniswap, we saw, and we can double check it, but over $25 million in volume. I could hardly believe that actually is a true volume, but Uniswap does show it. So altogether for 3 days, about 25 million has been traded for a coin that has no value.
It has no value. That's exactly
has no
right.
value, and yet there was trading. So who is buying it? I mean, I always told people that if it's free to mint, you shouldn't really be buying it, especially on the day one when the price could be completely wild and anybody could set it to anything they want. And so that's my answer to the bot question. I think Google Analytics doesn't lie. It existed for like 15 years. It's an industry standard to identify the users that are coming in and their geography. And so things are real and things are there.
That's very true. We got a lot of this is a good point here by Jose A. Urbina. I love the project, but honestly, all people care about is price performance. How is this going to gain value? Well, we just talked about the fact that there's $25 million being traded in 3 days, but there's a really big point being made here, and I agree with it. People are in crypto to make $1 million in 3 weeks. And when they don't see the way that that's going to happen, they call something a scam. They call something a Ponzi. This is a big brain project. This is a long-term project. And as Jack said, it's an experiment. There's no guarantee. There's no expectation that this is going to be a long-term, high-rising priced coin. It's an experiment, but sometimes experiments turn out to be some of the coolest things. So if you're here thinking that this is going to, make you a millionaire in 6 weeks, I think you are in the wrong spot. Tell me if I'm wrong, Jack.
I think you're right about it. And this is a long play. It was designed to be a long play. We shouldn't even be talking about the value of the charts. All of it is irrelevant. What's relevant is that I hear from the community members and from my friends that they were able to onboard their family members who never been into crypto. They set them up with MetaMask. They told them about the safety of keeping your seed phrases, maybe splitting them up. Taught them about blockchain and what it means, and then they tried to do their first mint. Like literally, like I have a friend who did it for his kids, and they had fun doing it because it was, I think, $5 or $7 at the time, and they minted 60,000 Zen coins the next day. It was a cool experiment. It worked for them, and then they proceeded to play with it on the Uniswap. So they learned a little bit about Uniswap as well. And all there was is like $7 plus change, plus maybe another transaction cost on the Uniswap, just to see if those things work. And so you can't really do that with anything else. And also, you're participating in this cool fact that you're making something out of nothing, and nobody's giving it to you. Like literally, you're the one interacting with the smart contract. Nobody's selling your Zen. Nobody's like forcing it in any way. It's completely voluntary. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's a long-term play. No point talking about value now. No point looking at the charts. It really should be zero, but it's not. It's not because people are, interesting creatures and they want to, to play the game, like so to speak. And the other thing I want to mention if I wanted it to be make money quick, I would be plugging myself into it. I would have coded in a wallet that would take 5% from every transaction and send it to my wallet. And that would be make money fast method. But I don't think it would have gotten so much adoption if that was the case, because it would not have been the true first principles of crypto, where somebody taxes you on every transaction. But it certainly would have been the way to do it. The other way to do it would have been to pre-mint. And you can explain it, all the work that the person does, the team and the audit, costs like $10,000 plus like another 5 for monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could rationalize it. You can say, I have spent all that time, all that mental energy. I deserve to have some sort of coins of my own. And I deserve to be first in line. But that's not what this experiment is about. It's completely opposite of what that is. It's not about people making a ton of money. It's about people participating and enjoying and learning crypto and having fun with it.
I think what you just said there is probably the most important thing that people need to focus on. We've got almost 300 people now in the chat. This is the most I've ever had on a live stream. So thank you. They're here to see you. That tells you, it's a bull market. Gosh, I get this mixed up every time. No, it's not. It is a bear market.
It's a bear market.
10 o'clock Eastern time on a Wednesday. And there's 300 people excited enough about this project that they're up wanting to listen to it live. That tells you that there's a lot of interest here. And how many do you have in the Telegram group now? What, in 3 weeks, you're up over almost 12,000, 13,000 people?
So just before we launched on Ethereum, we were at 6,000. Okay. And I thought 6,000 was a great number. I really thought if I could make 1,000 people there, then I would be happy enough. At the day of launch, we have doubled the size. We went from 6 to 12,000 as quickly as that. Plus, we added another adjacent group where people talk about, it's called Zen Price, and people talk about all kinds of, degen stuff, like what to do, what not to do they go to centralized exchanges, should they stay on Uniswap, that sort of thing. So technical support for DEXs and some questions on sexes too. And that group immediately grew to another 2,000 people. So we have now two groups, 12,000, 2,000 for Zen Price. And also there's a Polish group. I think they're approaching 3,000 people. Mm-hmm. There's a Japanese group. I don't know how large they are, but they're growing. And a Chinese group has formed as well.
That's amazing. Is there, so I kind of want to finish my thought process there because I got distracted, but you were saying that the beauty of this coin is that it gets people involved. And a lot of people that are new to crypto are excited about Zen because it's first principles of crypto, as you mentioned. It's not no buy taxes, no venture capital owned, no large wallets, none of this type of stuff. Everybody has just about the same opportunity. Now, granted, somebody that's a multimillionaire with a lot of Ethereum could mint more, but as fair of a launch as possible. And I think that's, that has a lot of people upset. But if any of you are in crypto and you're in different projects, it doesn't even matter what they are. If it, layer ones, just doesn't matter. We all, as a community, need more people to come into crypto to figure this thing out and see what works and see what doesn't work. And what Jack has developed here in Zen is probably the easiest, frictionless, or most frictionless way for people to come into cryptocurrency, learn with a very low barrier of entry financially, and they start to play with it. And we're all here because we love crypto. Well, how did we start to love it? Well, we played with it and then we loved it. And if Zen brings in millions of other people because they like how it's designed and they start to play with crypto and they like it, then that's bringing new users into the ecosystem. And that benefits all of us. And because of that, I think this is a phenomenal project.
Yeah, thanks. I agree. I mean, that was ultimately is the plan. And frankly, it comes from all other successful companies and projects out there that had wild success, and I think we talked about it on maybe another stream. Both Amazon and Google were paradigm shifting companies. Google came up as search engine number 7, and they just gave their search for free without stuffing ads or having any sort of paywalls. And the monetization for Google wasn't even on the horizon for the first 2 years. So it was an excellent product. It did what it was supposed to do, and it didn't take any money from people, and it was just a pure play. Became wildly successful, and ultimately, through its utility and adoption of people, it became at peak it was almost $2 trillion in capitalization, which is insane, right?
Yeah.
It would not have been successful if it wasn't useful. Amazon is the same thing. So Amazon was hated on by the industry contemporaries, I guess, at the time, where they were saying, look, they're not making any profit. How dare they? They're not making profit. They're just reinvesting the profit to grow, by the way. And what's wrong with reinvesting your money back into the company so that the shareholder value actually gets more value?
Absolutely.
And so became another mega company that did something really well, sending goods and products to people next day, sometimes the same day. Plus AWS changed the way that we think the cloud computing ever would be. And they did it in a very unusual way. It used to be that you buy a data center, you need to shell out hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need to prepay for a year in advance or like 6 months in advance. Amazon came out with a cloud service that you could use on demand, pay as you go. How dare they? And yet it worked. And it's brought up innovation, and it allowed startups to thrive without locking up their capital. It allowed to make experiments on the cloud and then fail tens or hundreds of experiments and only to find the one that works and ultimately succeed.
Yeah.
Would not have been possible without the cloud service like that. And so that's how I feel about crypto as well. We're in this sandbox, very innovative sandbox, and we're trying all kinds of different things. And when I was thinking about the first principles in the Bitcoin and what was successful for the world at large in the world of innovation, I thought, what if we merge the ethos of early Google and early Amazon and all of the early startups that were wildly successful? What have they been doing right? And almost without fail, all of those companies and all of those projects were community and people centric first, trying to help the world and bring usefulness to their products. And the monetization was almost at the end. And
Yeah.
Zen is very similar in this regard. The monetization of Zen is not the priority. The priority is to give crypto to the world with the least risk possible. And now with Binance, you can spend even less money on gas. You can spend 30 cents and you can experience crypto with just 30 cents on the dollar.
It's incredible. It is. And hopefully, if Pulse Chain ever launches, it'll be even less. I do want to give people a little bit of a platform to ask the questions that are burning them. This gentleman says the launch was not fair. Talk about the first few blocks. For those of you that aren't familiar, there are some people that say, hey, the website was supposed to be live at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time, and it didn't happen until 20 minutes later. And there's a lot of accusations out there about some people minting the first few blocks. But I just look at it from the standpoint of you had over 10,000 people sitting there clicking a button on one website. I can imagine it was a little bit stressed, but I got a pea brain. Why don't you address that for the community, please?
Yeah, so it wasn't the issue of the website being stressed. It was actually our fault. We wanted to do it right, and we delayed it because we wanted to make sure that the contract loads with the source code visible. So you know how you can push the contract and it will not have the source code, it will just have the bytecode. So we didn't want people to feel that they're interacting with something that has no visibility, no true open source. And so we tried a few times and we failed to load it properly. And the Ethereum blockchain was rejecting because we were messing up some commands. And ultimately, we figured it out 15 minutes later. So we were going to go at 10:15. We went out at 10:30. And then we pushed the changes to the site to enable everything. And so that was the reason for delay. We just wanted it to be more transparent and safer for the people, so that they don't get to interact with a contract that is not a true Zen contract, and you could double check the source code and then you see it on the blockchain for sure, and you get this little green check mark verification on Etherscan. And we told our community, do not do anything until you see the check mark.
Yeah.
So we're working hard to get the check mark in, so that people know that this is it. This is the authentic contract. I actually don't know anything about the question about the first few blocks. I mean, if there is a question on whether we were in the first block, we were not. We were too busy launching it. And before we could blink, 1,000 addresses connected to blockchain concurrently and were minting as fast as they can, raising Ethereum price to about 200 Gwei, and most of them were failing. So there was a lot of failing transactions because people were setting the gas limit too low, and those transactions would eventually just fail or disconnect.
Yeah. I had because I made a couple videos on my channel, tutorials for Zen. I felt overly important, but also overly overwhelmed during that 15 minutes because I got dozens and dozens and dozens of direct messages and people asking questions that I'm like, I'm not a programmer. I have no idea what's going on. So it was exciting though. It was a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out here to YOLO Hex. This is what I love about, honestly, the Hexakin community. It's really only about 5% of people that are maximalist and have bad things to say, but this is a perfect example. Teaching financial literacy is a better return on investment. People buy crypto to get out of the rat race, assets and liabilities, a game of who is indebted to who. We shall see. That's absolutely right. And if Zen gives people the opportunity to get into crypto and learn about it relatively risk-free, then it is an amazing protocol. And that's part of the reason why, I'm really thankful that Jack sits down and talks with me. And I want to address these questions for the community because it's important.
Yeah. There's some interesting question by Dev Hui. Ask Jack about his tweets telling people that they can get 10x on centralized exchange. It's a little bit higher on the list.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. So I posted the tweet.
Well, 10x of what? Was that the MEXC?
So here's what happened. Here's the backstory. So I wake up the first day after we launch, and my DMs are flooded from all of the exchanges, all of them. MEXC, Gate.io, Polynex. There's a bunch of them that I haven't seen them before. BKEX, OKEX. Pretty much all of those guys, they're like, hey, can we list you? And I slept through, I didn't answer to them. And then people in the admin group that we have, they were sending me links. They're saying, oh, by the way, they're listing us. And I was kind of confused at first. I thought that perhaps maybe there are a bunch of scammers who are front running this project and creating something that's not Zen and telling them it is Zen. But then I looked at the listing profile, and it actually was pointing to the right proper contract address. And I was so surprised because I didn't ask them to list it. I didn't pay them. A lot of people wait months to get listed, and they have to pay $500,000 to be listed on a central exchange. And the reason for that is because when you pre-mine or pre-mint your coins and you want to get liquidity and you have no engagement with the community at all, then you want the centralized exchanges to pump you and to push you and to put your product in front of all of their users. In this particular case, they figured out that for at least 10 hours, this has been killing Ethereum, so they have to list it. It's something interesting. And so that's why they went and they just did it without payment, for free, and without even asking me. And so in the morning, I made a tweet and I said, if you pay $15 in gas, the current value on an exchange is 20 times of that. So you'll get about $300. And I commented on the price. I didn't necessarily said, hey, you need to do this and just get it done. And I also followed up with a tweet where I said, this usually happens when the liquidity is very low. Anybody can set the price to whatever they want. It's likely not going to continue because there isn't any Zen available. So it's completely vile engagement. But to me, as a a person interested in financial engines and financial analytics, and all of that stuff, it was just unexpected. Like I didn't expect to be listed or for them to list the contract, and I didn't expect anybody to buy it. And so I tweeted, here are the facts, and those were the facts. Now I don't have any Zen. Well, I have a little bit now because I minted some yesterday, but back the first day I didn't have any. So it doesn't help me to send people to centralized exchanges. In fact, on many streams, I talked against even going to centralized exchanges because you give up your keys and you give up your coins. So anytime you send anything to centralized exchange, you will potentially lose everything because they may get hacked or they may simply turn off your account and they will not talk to you for any reason. Like there's too much risk simply. So I always advocate to go to Uniswap. And I did go to Uniswap myself to take a look at the quote. And the quote was 20 times the value of the gas price. And it was clearly speculation. It was actually normal. Speculations like that are normal. When you get something new out there, you see what the market can take. And the market was taking 20 times. So I think Trevon mentioned that he minted from some wallets and he made 1 ETH doing it. And I didn't tell him to do it, but I think he spent like $150, maybe $200. And as an experiment, he did it. And it's everybody's right to do it. I mean, hey, some people never been burned by centralized exchanges, and maybe it would be a learning experience to be burned at some point. I'm not advocating for people to go there, and I always warn people, but people will do it anyway. So, and some people think that their keys are safer in somebody's hands too. Like they don't have to worry about keeping their passcodes or their seed phrases somewhere where they can lose them. So I understand that psychology too, but with convenience come risks. So and I always talk about them. So anyway, hopefully that answers the question.
Oh yeah. This is a question that I found pretty interesting. Should have made 100 days minimum for mints, allowing people to mint in 1 day, then sell makes this a worthless project. No one's going to buy when they can mint for free. Well, obviously that's not the case because people are buying, but I mean, it's an interesting question. So, I mean, you've already stated that you had no expectation that this many people would engage with the contract this quickly to begin with. So the thought that people would be minting a bunch and selling it on the first day, I mean, did that even cross your mind?
I didn't think there would be a market.
Sure.
At all.
Well, people created the market.
Yeah, people did. It's their right to do it. It's their right to experiment, and it happened. And so I am pro freedom of all kinds. And one of them was to give people a chance to mint for 1 day, or to extend their mint to longer than a year if they wanted to. So it's completely up to. I mean, I don't expect any value on day 1, any value on day 2, any value on day 3, and yet there is value. But that's because of the community. People want to give it value. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just the way things are. but there was no expectation to have value. I think there will be value later. But also, like, if you think about it, you're trading your gas fees for a future token, right? Even if it's 24 hours, it's still future token. Now, you may be lucky and you may spend very little gas, or you may be unlucky and you'll spend a lot of gas. But no matter what happens to you, you will always in your mind put a floor on the value of the token or the value of the crypto you're producing to the amount of money you spent.
Mm-hmm.
And so naturally, you would want to get more in return, naturally.
We get this question popping up a lot. Any ambitions to launch your own blockchain?
No plans to do it. And the reason why there's no plans to do it is because I wanted Zen project to be inclusive rather than exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to make a blockchain and make it an exclusive club where it has very specific parameters, and I don't think I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
Building blockchains is very difficult, and it's a lot of responsibility. It's very different than building a token that has no value, like Zen. Blockchain can have a lot of interesting projects on it, but it's just not how I felt it would match the ethos of the project. The project was supposed to be on all the chains,
Mm-hmm.
and not restricted to a single chain, or whether it's my chain or somebody else's. And so today we did Binance, and we lowered the bar for adoption even lower. So now you pay 30 cents to engage with the contract. And tomorrow, or maybe the day after, we will do Polygon, which is also very interesting. A lot of people are asking for it. And then we'll do Avalanche. A lot of people are asking about Avalanche, and they want to learn about Avalanche and get exposed to those chains and see how they operate versus Ethereum. So I think that would be very interesting.
I agree completely. Lots of bots in the chat even.
Oh, yeah?
Do you have any, I saw it here and it's been asked more than once. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I want to address what the crowd is asking for. Is there any plans to do a burn in the future?
I can't do a burn because I don't control anybody's Zen. So if people want to burn their Zen, they're welcome to do it if they want to. But the contract cannot force you to burn, and neither can the team force you to burn. But hey, if you want to build something that burns Zen, by all means build it, and maybe it will be interesting. So, but unlike Shiba Inu or Shiba token, where they pre-minted a quadrillion of them and then they burned half and send another half to Vitalik. I mean, their whole ethos is based on burning, just because they made a whole lot of, zeros, and they just want to get rid of their zeros to have less of them, so that it has more dollars attached to it, right? I mean, this is not what we're doing. So I don't kind of like see the point of burning. But hey, if people come up with interesting things, like maybe you can come up with an NFT project that actually burns in and gives you an NFT, proof of burn. So that could be cool game. I mean, imagine burning a year worth of mint time on an NFT. It may actually be worse than that year. So tradable, interesting NFT game where you truly can embed your wait time for a year into it and swap it out with friends. I mean, it could be fun.
Interesting question here. Zen has gone viral very quickly. What do you attribute that to? How can other tokens reach this level of engagement and network effect? That's a great question, JB. Thank you.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, honestly, it's viral because all the reasons why you built it. It's a fair launch, first principles of crypto. It's a great way to get new people in. Those of us that understood that told their friends about it. I told a lot of friends, like, hey, you've been saying forever you want to get into crypto and you don't understand it. Now is your chance. I can walk you through this in 5 minutes. It's relatively straightforward, and you can play with it and you can see how fun it is. And that type of it's just this, I want to say simplicity of it for me to onboard is very simple. That's not to downplay how difficult it was to build it, but it's easy. It's frictionless. And you can tell somebody and they'll say, well, I don't have a lot of money. That's great. You have $10.
Yeah, or even less now with Binance.
Yeah, exactly. So with Binance, it's even easier. So that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I was going to say the same thing. The barrier for entry is really low, and people feel they can talk about this crypto to their friends and family and not offend them with the future losses because the expectations are so low. I mean, you got $5, you got 30 cents, you can mint some free crypto, and then you can play with it. So, yeah. And I think the more people talk about it, then the easier it is to explain what it is, right? It doesn't do anything incredibly complex.
Yeah.
It just gets the person onboarded so that they can, I mean, like, think about it. Let's say that there's two friends getting into blockchain. They just set up their wallets. They have never experienced transfer between wallets before, ever. Using QR codes, using MetaMask, it's their first time.
Mm-hmm.
They could do it. Could do it. I mean, of course, they can do it with Ethereum also, but with Zen, it's kind of like, it's a process, right? You engage with the protocol, it starts doing something for you. You come back, you have this like a journey or a quest, and then you send it to your friend, and then your friend does something with it, or vice versa. Or maybe you can have it traded for another coin potentially.
I want to give this minus the language, but Pac-Man brings up a great point. The same thing happened when Shiba launched, and look at it now. Like quadrillions of tokens early on, and yet the community's there and there's value in it. So yeah, could happen.
I think people are way too serious. We should have fun with this. I mean,
I love it. Yes, people are way too serious.
Why are people so freaking out about like this sort of thing? Okay, so it has viral adoption, right? And yes, somebody is selling it for $1.50, and then the next day we know it's two zeros and two. I mean, it's just people having fun. And this is something that you can get a lot of entertainment with for $5 or cheaper. So, but I understand. I mean, like, we have had number of years where people's life savings were lost or fortunes were made.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are so focused on the price action and this dopamine rush when you trade. Nobody's really thinking about the longevity in the first principles of crypto and what it means for humanity. Just because we're so locked into this sort of game of trading.
The other thing that's interesting, I mean, just kind of thinking, as you mentioned, long term, seeing kind of what the government is doing, cracking down on crypto, and perhaps they've alluded to they might go after staking coins. The entire bull run of 2021 was based on staking coins. If those become a security, immediately a lot of people are no longer going to have access to them because they need to be sophisticated investors in order to be able to get into securities. The thing I see about Zen that I like a lot is that it's going to pass every Howey test. It could become the people's crypto.
Yeah. And the code is in the wild. It's been unleashed. And now it's up to the people what they want to do with it. I have no ways to influence the execution or the algorithm in any way. It's fully blockchained and driven by locked by consensus, impossible to change.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even belong to me. It belongs to the world. Like, literally, it's the world's contract that people can engage with.
Here's a statement from CZ Hexing. I always like seeing her in my chats. Thank you for being here. We've made over half our gas fees back, so I got Zen for free. That exists too for the people that were thinking, I guess, forward enough to do a 1 or 2 day stake and thought that, these were the people that went out and created the market. There was that opportunity. They sold their first couple, got their gas fee back, and now what they're riding on, it's all on the house. I mean, what's been so fun is to see just the multitude of different ways people have approached this and, created a market out of nothing, found a way to turn it profitable. You were mentioning Trevon, what he did. They've used Zen to bring in a family and people new to crypto. I mean, it's really cool. It really is.
I think it's a fun project, and people should just be more lighthearted about it. And again, I want to stress out that I don't really feel attacked personally, because there isn't anything that I really have done that's like so special. All I did was I looked at the blockchain and I created an API so that people can use blockchain for what was meant to be, without financial controlling interest or any sort of admin keys. Pretty standard stuff. And I just talked about it. I guess my mouth is too big or whatever, and I talk a lot. I've been on many streams, and but I like this topic. I think this topic is important. So
it's very important. It's very important. I mean, everybody says that crypto is the next revolution. Well, how do we make it fair for the little people? You got to give them a way to get in. You got to give them a way to learn. And Zen provides that. It's really, really cool. Can I buy Zen on BSC? Probably not till tomorrow. You can mint Zen on BSC today. My guess is tomorrow there's going to be quite an active marketplace for that.
Yeah, it is likely. If you could have minted Zen for 30 cents and you can still do it, and tomorrow you will make about 60,000 Zen on BSC.
Yeah.
So that's what the value of Zen from the get-go.
And somebody's going to create a liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, and the first couple that do it might get $1.50 for it.
What I'm really curious to try is an interchain transfer. So using Sushi Swap with their interchain Stargate integration. So I'm really curious about somebody making a pool on Sushi Swap on Binance or PancakeSwap on Binance. But I think Sushi Swap is on Binance as well. And then having another counter liquidity pool on Ethereum, and then be able to trade BZen. That we actually changed the ticker. We call it BZen, so there's no confusion.
Okay.
You'll be able to trade your BZen for Zen on Ethereum and vice versa. I think that would be a very interesting experiment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please finish.
Yeah, if I see that as an option, I'll definitely tweet about it.
Well, you know what? I might just try it myself. Sounds fun. I saw somebody in the comments say wrapped Zen incoming. So, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, could be.
I might also lose 30 cents, and then I'll be mad at you, Jack.
Damn it.
I'll tweet, this guy's an idiot, scammer.
Yeah, I can't even say I am burning your money.
Right.
Because I'm not doing it. I'm somehow confusing you into burning your money.
Up to 1.3 wallets on Binance Smart Chain already. And I saw somebody else tweeted or commented earlier that Zen is now the biggest gas hog on Binance as well.
You know what's funny? When we launched on Binance a couple of hours ago, I was monitoring their transactions, and a friend, one of our developers, asked for some BNB to play with. And I tried to send it to him, and I couldn't, because Binance Chain was so busy processing Zen. The simple BNB transactions, wallet to wallet, were not happening.
So did you delay the launch on BSC because of the exploit that happened the other day, or just because you needed time?
We needed time to make the web app more stable, because it was glitching and was throwing some errors, and some people were affected. Like the mobile was not done really well, or just the load was killing the mobile experience. And so as soon as we improved it last night, today was the Binance launch, just because we felt that it was ready to go and ready to take on more traffic.
Okay. So
that was the reason, that we just wanted a little bit more stability with the web app.
Interesting. So I think, well, gosh, we're up to 415 people in chat. That's amazing. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I think there is one thing that the community wants to hear. I should say the community. There's one community in particular. You know what? I'm not even going to ask it. We're having a good conversation. I don't want to throw anything else in the mix. To heck with it. I'm enjoying this. No
Okay.
drama. This is drama free night tonight. So when launch on Pancake Swap? Well, probably tomorrow, if I had to guess. There's no official plan for. Well, I can only speak for my assumptions, Jack. I don't think your team is actually launching on Pancake, are they?
We don't plan on it. I mean, we really wanted to stay on the sidelines and to watch the action happen organically. So we were not the ones to create the liquidity pool in Uniswap either. It literally happened within seconds as soon as the first mint was done. Like, we're talking about 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds of a mint, somebody went to Uniswap and made a pool.
I've gotten a lot of really nice comments like this, kind of not in public, that, hey, I'm really liking Zen. I appreciate stuff like that. So thank you very much, CZ Hexing. I appreciate it. Got a lot of questions coming. It's actually really hard to keep up with. People excited about the Zen community. They've asked this before, Hex farmers or any kind of burn. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a different question.
Yeah.
There is a kind of a burn if people do not claim on time. Yeah, that's a great topic. Let's talk about that, because I could see, I mean, just looking at these comments here, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, the price isn't going anywhere. This is a waste of time, yada, et cetera. I'm going to go chase the next meme coin. I could see a scenario in which a year goes by and a lot of the minted Zen are not claimed. What are your thoughts?
So the way that it works is that if you do not come back to mint Zen, it never gets created. So it's never added to the liquid supply just because it doesn't exist.
Okay.
So when you come back and you mint it, it does exist. And if you don't come back, it just disappears. And when I say disappears, it never existed. That
brings me a question then. I'm going to, I don't know if I'm prepared to share my screen. I think I am. So then I'm going to go to zen.network. And I'm going to go to the dashboard. I can't get to the dashboard without connecting my wallet, can I?
No, there was actually one of the stability patches that we had to do.
All right, I'm not going to be able to do that right now then. I'm trying to figure out the way to ask the question without the dashboard, but without the dashboard, it might be pointless. So, because the people won't be able to follow along. Well, in the dashboard, though, it says current amount of Zen minted. Is that the current amount of Zen planned to be minted in however many years, or?
So there's two things. There's total supply, liquid supply, and total staked.
Can you share a screen?
Yeah, let me see.
I think I enabled that. Because that's a great question. And I like what you said. So it's not necessarily a burn function. It's just it's not going to exist function. But I'm curious how that number plays into what we see on the dashboard.
Does this work?
Yeah, I've got your thing here, but all I see is a white screen.
Yeah, that's what I see too. So something is wrong with it. Let me see if I can boom, open another window. And like this.
We have a lot of people calling for you to create your own L1, create a stable coin, create some functions and utilities, NFTs. People are really excited about what you did here. Sounds like you're going to be busy.
I mean, I appreciate the compliments and I guess the trust in my capabilities. But remember, Zen is only for 100 lines of code. It wasn't really that hard. What you guys are asking for is like thousands of lines of code. So,
well, to somebody like me, 100 lines of code and 1,000 lines of code, it's all the same.
Well,
impossible is impossible.
It is much harder. So let's see. Does that show up?
Oh, yep. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So what I was talking about is the total supply over here. Is that the estimated total supply, or is that the total supply that has been minted as of today?
It's been minted.
Okay.
So in fact, the staked and the total. So staked gets burned, but it's a record that you can remint back to yourself if you want to unstake.
Okay.
But if you add those two numbers together, you get the total supply. So total supply, I guess, what is it, 9 billion now? So it's almost 10 billion. So that's how many people. I mean, that's how much crypto has been produced by minting. So it should. It will not match Etherscan. The 9.2 will match Etherscan because the rest of it is burned.
Okay. Well, that was straightforward then.
Yeah.
Cookies and Crypto asks, how long do you have to mint your Zen when the minting term is over, and what are the penalties?
The penalties are 7 days. The first 0 day after the claim time period passes is just you can just mint it anytime without penalties. Then it's 1%. The next day, then it's 3%. Then it's 7%. I think it's 35, 70, and 99% at the end. So if you're late by a week, you will only be able to mint 1%.
Okay. Brizology says, I don't think my question about CAPTCHA is going to be asked. Ask it again because I don't know what the question was. I don't even know what CAPTCHA is.
I know what CAPTCHA is.
Do you want
So
to try
what
to
is
guess
what is the question? So CAPTCHA, please. What is a CAPTCHA? I mean, CAPTCHA on the web app, right? Is that what they're thinking?
I'm scrolling up to see if I can see it. I saw it.
CAPTCHA. Okay, so here's the thing about CAPTCHA. Oh, CAPTCHA to claim. Okay, so people think wrongly that CAPTCHA will stop automation and interaction with the blockchain by a program or a script like a bot. That will not stop the bot from interacting with the blockchain. The blockchain itself has no CAPTCHA of any kind. It's completely open system, and you can, as long as you pay gas, you can talk to it. There's no point having a CAPTCHA on a website because it doesn't solve the problem of people automating things. And so there isn't a situation where you run some sort of a browser controller because you still need to sign your transaction with the MetaMask wallet. And the automated program cannot do it. You may as well just not even worry about the web and go straight for the blockchain. So CAPTCHA does not solve anything. The only time CAPTCHA solves things is when there is a faucet that gives you free crypto, and they match your IP, and they don't want you to be sending requests and flood the system because you're not actually signing anything. You're plugging in your Ethereum address, and then they're supposed to send you the coins, but you're not signing anything. So that's the big difference. So that's where the CAPTCHA is useful. But for our system, every interaction, especially Mint, requires signing or use of MetaMask. And so the use of MetaMask is like as if you're having a CAPTCHA because you need to enter your password and unlock the MetaMask. You cannot automate that process.
Gotcha. Okay. It sounds like, I don't know anything about CAPTCHA, but it sounds like that's something that might eliminate bots. Is that kind of the thought?
People do it on platforms where there's a login screen, and they just want to make sure you're human and not a program trying to send a bunch of spam.
Oh, is that the thing where I have to figure out which fish is swimming and which fish is out of water?
That's what it is.
I hate that. Yeah, please don't do CAPTCHA unless, of course, whatever. Denise says, hey, Denise, I'm glad you're here. Smash the likes, 407 people. Yeah, that's great. I'm fascinated. There's 414 people here. So lots of people. We have a funny, I don't know if this is funny or if it's real, but Edwin Marin says, I'm going to modify the code and make a baby Zen. Well, that almost seems appropriate. There's a baby everything nowadays.
That is perfectly fine. However, if you do that and you expect me to retweet it, make sure it follows first principles of crypto. If it doesn't, I'm not going to retweet it.
There you go. Zen on Ethereum is most likely to be worth the most every time gas fees go high. It'll have a deflationary effect.
Did you see what we did to Ethereum?
You wrecked it.
No, did you see the chart? The chart of so go to a webpage, Ultrasound Money. Ultrasound Money, and it should have like nice little charts for Ethereum. And let's look at it. I'll explain what we're seeing.
All right, let me get there first, and then okay. So try to figure this out.
That is actually what surprised me. I mean, the number one surprise was obviously the community, just incredible positive engagement. Number 2 was the listing on centralized exchanges. Totally did not expect it. And number 3 was this thing. Look what happened to the supply of Ethereum. Look at that. You see it's going down?
Down. It's getting burned.
It's deflationary. Like really, it's since merge, no project took it down like this. And so what happened is there was $5 million used for gas. Half of it was burned and half of it was distributed among the validators. But it's incredible that it went down like that. So, and it's bullish and positive for the project because Ethereum community are looking at this and they're saying, what is happening that is shaking the boat so hard? What is it? Like, why are people burning their gas to, and then obviously they go to an Etherscan, and they see that we're a top token by usage. So
which makes people want to get in it.
It will certainly attract attention, and people talk about it, and they may want to play with it. I don't know if they're going to get into it, but it will certainly expose the white paper. And I think white paper being exposed and people reading it and understanding what the first principles are is, I would say, is half of what I wanted to do, if not 80% off. Like, I wanted my white paper to be read more than people play with the tokens.
Okay.
And the tokens just encapsulate your action of you're actually in getting engaged through understanding what the first principles are and why it matters. And so this sort of positive action validates the fact that first principles do matter.
Absolutely. I see some banter here, but I like this. Zen price doesn't matter because that's not what it's for.
That's exactly true. It's eventually it will matter,
sure.
But it's going to take a while.
Apparently, there's just saw one here. These comments are coming so quickly. It says I missed it, but apparently somebody's already building a way to burn Zen tokens, which that could be a thing. Or we could just send them all to Vitalik.
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Can I share a screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, and you have your first proposal. Congratulations.
Thank you, but I'm already married. I've been married for 26 years. Very happy, but thank you.
You said 26? Nice. I'm coming up on 20 myself.
Nice. Congrats.
Likewise. Okay, we got your screen here. What are we going to take a look at?
All right. Top statistics. We have Zen on top of USDT, USDC, Wrapped Ether, Shiba. Pretty much everybody. We're number one by transactions. Let's look a little bit deeper. So the unique receivers were still number 2. Total uniques, I think that's just the total number of addresses engaged, were number 1. And this is Etherscan, by the way.
Okay.
And we have this giant Zen logo, and it tells you how many transactions it did. And it's number 1 as the top token on Ethereum right here. So we have surpassed everybody. I thought it would take years. Like literally, I thought it would take years. And that's why I designed it to run for 8 years. I thought the engagement will really have to be ramped up slowly. But it happened in 2 days, which is just incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for all the people that have participated, because it would be impossible to do otherwise. So,
well, Denise brings up a good point. I mean, you just threw a grenade into the bear market. No one saw this coming. And, the FOMO, I don't want to say FOMO because that's not, FOMO makes it sound like they're chasing price. I'll replace that with excitement, enthusiasm.
I think technology, people should be enthusiastic about technology that is safe for them to play with. And this is one of those technologies that can let you be introduced into crypto. And I think our battlefield is 96% of people that haven't touched crypto. So literally
That
there are
that's
that
it.
many.
Our battlefield is 96% of the people that haven't touched crypto, and this is a way for them to do it.
Yeah, and if they get engaged with crypto, guess what? All of the projects other projects that people love will get more customers potentially if they're good.
The question, what is the point of Zen? We just discussed that, to onboard the 96% of people that have no idea how to use crypto.
Yeah, and I would say literally like most of the questions is the first page of the white paper. Like just open the white paper. It's linked on Zen.network at the bottom right there. Just click on it. Read the first 100 words. It's all in there. It's very basic English, the only English I know because English is my second language. So I try to write it plainly.
And this one is also a good thought process. Hex down under. Zen will get people to hear about Hex. It's a win for everybody. It's a win for all of crypto. But I do agree because Hex is also built on first principles. So, they are like in kind.
Yeah, I think everybody will win, and I think would be very happy for people to to be winning, and really get into this process with the right set of skills, and that will help them. So like stay away from trading, stay away from all of this, I guess we would call degen activity. I mean, degen activity is only fun when there's a bull market. But if you buy it the wrong time, or I literally heard stories. A person comes in with $1,000, goes up to 2 million, and then loses it all and is depressed for 3 years
because he never had money that he never had.
Yeah, but he thought he had.
He thought on paper. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So making $2 million is fun, but it's so much worse losing it when you thought you had it.
Because you thought it was going to go up higher. Speaking of degen, win Zen Inu. Oh God, that's definitely going to be on Dex Tools tomorrow.
It already happened.
Did it really? Okay.
Yeah. So some wasn't from us, but somebody created a project called Mr. Jack Inu or something like that.
Okay.
I have to look at it. It is ridiculous.
Is it mooning? I mean,
it's a picture.
Okay, now I'm going to go to Dex
Jack Levin Inu. Like literally search for it. It is ridiculous.
Let's see, Jack Levin Inu. Oh, good Lord, it's right there.
Yeah, it literally just came up, and and they came up with this term. They called it Levinomics.
And look at this. Here's a big surprise. It looks just like every other meme coin.
Yeah, but you should go to the website. See if there's a website linked.
Okay.
Because the website is so funny.
Nope, that's the Etherscan. That's not what I want.
Yeah, but Etherscan should have a website linked.
There should be a website right here.
Oh, maybe like the little desktop thingy.
Here? Oh yeah. I've actually built
Levin Inu.
Look at this. They've got a legit website.
Show us. I would not see it.
Oh, you don't? Oh, yeah. I got to switch my window. Hold on. Sorry. I'm over here having a bunch of fun.
Levino. Is that what they call it?
I borderline don't want to do this because I don't want anybody to think that this is okay to actually look at. But
hey, we're having fun. I mean, come on.
We'd be having fun if I could figure out how to share my screen. Stuck on stupid right now. It's way past my bedtime.
Copy paste.
Yeah. Okay. This is great. Okay. Here you go. You see it?
Unbelievable.
Oh, but they've got you doing you got a cat thing. You've got W thing going on.
I don't know what the hell am I. It doesn't even look like me, but definitely wearing some sort of a cap with a Shiba, I guess.
Let's see. Tokenomics, Levinomics. Look at that. It's aspect of smart contract.
So speaking of having fun, right? People are having fun. And aren't they saying they're adapting what the philosophy or something?
Contract is it's probably a copy and paste contract. Let's see the philosophy on this.
So
Zen
I
guy.
haven't looked at their code, so I cannot endorse it in any way. I think
No.
so. It could be a giant scam. We don't know. Could be great. Don't
Right.
know. Haven't looked at it. I just thought it was ridiculous, and you brought it up, so I'm mentioning it.
This is hilarious. I mean, they've got a whole link tree and everything set up. I mean, they've put in some time on this, but the Dex tool shows you that it's probably not anything to play with. So, all right, we're at the magical 420 number. I'm sure there are people in the comments that are excited about that.
Is it the indica time?
Indica time. Yeah, I think that's one of Dr. Dre's favorite times. Anyone in the world this dumb as it gets. Okay, well, you don't need to be here. All right. Well, I honestly, it's past my bedtime. So 417 people. I feel bad to rug it, but I got to go to bed. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? This was a great conversation. I appreciate everybody being here in chat. There was a lot of really good questions asked. I appreciate everybody being respectful and just having good discourse. And Jack, as always, it's a pleasure to chat with you. Is there anything you want to wrap it up with?
Thank you for having me. And I mean, I just wanted to say that there have been some drama about something that what I said or I didn't say. I held Twitter Spaces. It's been recorded. There's YouTube video of it. I kind of explained what my comments meant, and again, like, I don't take anybody's reactions personally, because I think a lot of people misunderstand certain things. I have never personally attacked anyone, and I don't think I will. So people do what they do. It's up to them how they do it, and it's not my place to judge. And when people judge Zen, I mean, it has to be judged. There's so many people are exposed to it. There's millions of opinions right now. So it would be crazy for me to really take it to heart what some people are saying. Hey, I think somebody said that I ruined Ethereum for everybody. Now they can't buy their NFTs cheap enough.
Right, because I mean, that's such an asinine thing to say. Let's look at
I was laughing. During
the bull market. Like it was a miracle to get anything under 60 Gwei, and people were paying.
It was more than that. It was 200.
Yeah, but I mean that was for a brief period in time. It's 18 now.
I was buying an NFT, a picture of a duck with a toilet paper roll on its head for $300 in fees.
Right. I can't believe you just admitted that in public, by the way.
I don't mind. I mean, it was an experiment. I thought paper toilet roll was cool. And you know what? That duck actually had a cool contract underneath it. It gave birth to a frog, and the frog also had the toilet paper on its head. And it was a very unique frog. It was like a frog baby that somehow the duck has generated by, you wait long enough and you get another NFT, which is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So, well, thank you for mentioning that about the comments. I know some people were hoping to hear that tonight. I didn't want to bring it up because I don't really care. But yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. Jack, it's always a pleasure. Everybody have a great evening.
Awesome. Thanks. Talk to you soon.